Welcome to our student broadcast of University of Florida Gators football, a production of the students of the University of Florida College of Journalism and Communications. Now, let's go live to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium for Florida Gators football.
My name's Jake Ricker, along here side Parker Fluke. Parker, we got a really good game going on as the Gators lead the Aggies 21-17. The Aggies will get the ball to start this second half. What are you looking for from both these teams as to potentially grab the win here in this one?
Well, to put it simply, I'm looking for a defensive stop. I mean, the closest thing we saw to that was a pass interference call called on Sean Davis that ended up keeping the Aggies out of the end zone and keeping them from scoring a touchdown. Ended up them only kicking a field goal. Now they're down 4 points. So just a defensive stop. 210 yards for the Gators in the first half, 240 for the Aggies. It's just been an offensive shootout. The first one to get a stop might be the one to win this game.
It's certainly looking that way as the Aggies took a fair catch there. So they're going to start their drive on the 25-yard line. When you look at this Aggies offense so far, really a couple guys stand out, and that's mainly Isaiah Spiller, who's had 41 yards so far in this one, and then especially Caleb Chapman, who's had 80 yards so far and a touchdown as well. Let's see what this offense can get done here as we start the third quarter. Mond back here to take the snap. He's got one running back to his right. Mond drops back looking right. He's going to throw, and that ball's caught by Thomas. Thomas with plenty of room to run all the way down past the first down yard line, and an extra 5 yards as well as Isaiah Spiller on the grab. So a great start for this offense.
Yeah, and Isaiah Spiller, what a catch and run there by him, and just where was the defense there? I mean, it's non-existent. The Gators, it's almost like they've given up in this game. It's really tough to watch if you're a fan of this team, but Kellen Mond is just exposing all of the gaps in this defense.
Mond and Spiller working very well early on here, and Spiller now to the left of Mond, moving in motion to the right. Mond will take the snap, looking to the right side, throwing that ball is tipped, intended for Spiller again, but a Gators defender got his hand on it. It was quarterback Kayler Elam, but a great defensive play there for the Gators.
Yeah, great job there by Kyer Elam. One of those young sophomore cornerbacks alongside Jaden Hill and Gravon Dexter, another sophomore on the defensive line. But yeah, he just really got big there and was in the right spot at the right time, able to deflect that. Goes for an incompletion. Now 2nd and 10.
14-15 left to go in the third quarter as the Gators lead at 21-17, looking to make a stop on this first possession from the Aggies as Mond takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Spiller again. Spiller with plenty of room to run, still going on his feet, and he goes down past the first down yard marker. So an 11-yard run from Spiller. Once again, the Gators just cannot seem to stop this run game from the Aggies.
They can't seem to stop anything. I mean, I don't know what this defense is doing. I don't know if they're practicing or not, but this is just a pathetic showing for a Todd Grantham-led defense.
So 1st and 10 here for the Aggies as they're past midfield. Mond out in the shotgun with Spiller to his right.
Chapman lined up on the right side by himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he got the pass here.
Here's Mond. He's looking that way again. Here's the throw, and that ball is incomplete. Looked like they might have had it there, but the Gators able to make a defensive stand. That ball intended for number 85, the tight end.
Weidermeyer there on the pass. And Ventrell Miller actually almost had an interception. He was diving for the ball. Good defense there by Miller either way. He was there with him the entire time. Just dove, outreached the hands, and almost had it, but instead it goes for an incompletion. Nice play there by Miller.
2nd and 10 now for the Aggies. It seems like the Gators defense can always make one stop on these drives. Let's see if they can make a couple of them here as Mond now alone in the backfield as he takes the snap, looking right, throwing, and that pass again incomplete, intended there for number 81, Caleb Chapman. He tried to throw the ball quick, and it's incomplete. A big 3rd and 10 now for this Gators defense.
And 2 similar misses there by Kellen Mond. Both were missing to the right side. Elam there, Chapman had a little bit more separation than Weidermeyer did on the play prior, but Mond misses again to the right side. Chapman tried to dive to the right side and catch it, but was unable to do so. Like you said, can the Gators get 3 stops this time instead of just 1 or 2?
Mond in the shotgun here with nobody with them in the backfield. 2 receivers out to the right and 3 to the left. As play clock starts to tick down here with 5 seconds left, looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by, I believe, the Aggies. No, it's going to be a timeout by the Gators. So actually surprising there as the play clock was ticking down. Wonder if that Gators defense wasn't set once again. It could be a costly timeout, though.
Yeah, and in a shootout like this, timeouts could prove to be important towards the end of the game. If you're Todd Grantham, you hate to use that one already. Only a minute 30 into the second half, and the Aggies 7 for 7 on third down, and it's been third downs like these, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and they're still converting every time. Kellen Mond just doing a great job. Keeping the drive going, and the Gators defense unable to get off the field even when they're given the opportunity to.
You almost wonder if they took that timeout because they want to make sure they can get off on third down this time, because it would be a huge stoppage here for the Gators, as then Kyle Trask will be able to come back out on the offense and go to work. They've had 3 touchdowns on all 3 possessions, so the offense operating on all cylinders right now. Let's see if the defense can get them back out onto the field, though.
Yeah, Kyle Trask and company are playing at an excellent clip right now. And something noteworthy right now is that Kellen Mond started this game 11 for 14. Since then, now he's at 17 for 26. So the Gators have been forcing incompletions. The run game has just been able to pick them up, and they're not able to get those incompletions one after another.
Mond once again in the shotgun. Spiller to his right. Chapman moving a little closer on his left side in the motion. Mond takes a snap. He's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. So the Gators will have their first stop of the day. It's Cox Jr. with the pressure as Mond tried to get rid of that ball.
Yeah, credit Brenton Cox all the way there. He came crashing around on the left side, blind side hit on Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond was still able to get away. Cox almost had the Gators' first sack of the game, but instead he forces an incompletion. That was just an excellent play call there by the Gators. And they sent Brad Stewart as well in from the safety position to crash and blitz. Just a great call and a great stop there by the Gators.
Aggies will punt this one away. They could get some pretty good field position here as they down the ball at the 10-yard line. So the Gators offense will have to go its longest distance so far today as they're going to start this drive from the 10-yard line. We're back here on the Gator Student Broadcast as the Gators hand that one off for a short gain on the run. Looks like it was number 27.
Dameon Pierce.
Dameon Pierce on the run.
And that's the first Pierce carry in probably 10 to 15 minutes of play here, as Naquan Wright got the ball for the entirety of that last offensive drive of the first half for the Gators.
Gators kind of have a trio of running backs able to move in. Pierce still out there with Trask in the shotgun here on this 2nd and 6. Gators still lead it 21-17 in this third quarter. It's going to be a handoff to Pierce on that right side. Able to break a couple of tackles, still going, and he got the first down there. Great job by Pierce as now the Gators looking to continue to move along on this offensive drive.
Yeah, an excellent job there by Pierce. Miles Jones and Leon O'Neal were both there on the play, trying to make the tackle and keep him short for a third down, but they were unable to do so. Great job by Pierce to just keep his legs moving. Like you said, the running back by committee has worked excellently today for the Gators.
Trask once again in the shotgun with Pierce to his left. It's going to be another play action play. Trask now looking, throwing downfield, and this ball is intercepted. And the Aggies looking to return this one for a good amount of yardage. He's finally brought down.
That's Leon O'Neal with the interception that time, and an awful, awful pass decision there by Kyle Trask. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what that is.
Gators hoping to catch a break here. As you mentioned, very costly mistake. Let's see what the call is. And it won't matter as the Aggies will still get the interception, I believe. Let's take a look at the replay here.
I believe it's hands to the face on the defense, which should bring the ball, should cancel out that interception. Gators will keep possession.
Gators
wow.
will, yeah, so that's a huge break.
Massive. And that's actually Michael Clemens, the team's leading sacker, who got called for hands to the face on the defensive line. So completely unrelated to the interception, this minuscule little face mask call. And wow, if you're Kyle Trask, you are thanking your lucky stars.
So first and 10 for the Gators. Trask with a quick throw, and that one is caught by Grimes. Grimes still on his feet, still going past the first down yard line and more yardage. Grimes looked like he would go down in the backfield there, but then was able to stay on his feet and gain the first down.
Almost takes out an assistant coach on the sideline in the process. Trayvon Grimes, an excellent job continuing after the catch there. And, man, I just cannot get over that lucky break that Kyle Trask had. It was an awful throw decision. Now, we might not have discussed it enough, but there were three defenders in the secondary on one pass catcher. And Trask just threw it up there blindly. It was well short of his target. But got bailed out by his best friend now, Michael Clemens, on the defensive line. He's going to be thanking him post-game.
Grimes was on the sidelines there after taking a spill after that play. Trask takes this snap, looking right. Now pump fake's going to move up. He's going to take it himself. Trask gains about 3 yards on that play. So a short gain from Kyle Trask.
It looks like the Aggies have been better on coverage so far here in the second half. Trask has had a good amount of time to throw, as he had in the first half, but now not able to find as many open receivers. He had Grimes there on that short pass, but that was really only a screen. We haven't seen Trask go deep. We haven't seen Pitts at all in the second half yet. 2nd and 6 now should be interesting to see what Dan Mullen schemes up here.
2nd and 6 and 10:24 left to go in this third quarter. Trask in the shotgun with 2 receivers out to his left. It's going to be a handoff here for only, looks like about a gain of 2.
That was Malik Davis there with the carry. Oh, and a little bit of extracurricular here by both teams. Wow, flags raining down on the play. And, wow, someone came falling over Malik Davis. Still a couple players down on the ground. And it should be interesting to see who instigated that. Cameras are showing David Reese. That might have been him on the foul. And that would just be an awful, terribly disciplined decision there by Reese, as the Gators just made their way into field goal range. That could take them out, and a field goal would mean a one-possession lead for the Gators.
Not what you want to do in a very close game as well. We'll have to wait and see, though, who was the initiating player on that, because there were definitely some extra pushes after the initial one there. We were still seeing Pierce's. They're showing us the replay now. Yep, looks like.
Oh, yeah, and it was Reese that came in there. It looked like the defender for the Aggies was pushing one of the Gators' offensive linemen. It is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. And
well,
so
there you go. As they say, it's not the one that initiates it, but the one that gets caught, the one that retaliates. And that's what it looks like what happened there. So a costly penalty for the Gators after the Aggies took a costly penalty.
And I saw the referee wave his arms back and forth, so that might have been a declined penalty. I'm not sure if that's what he was signifying, or if he called it on both sides. Well, it'll be interesting to see the yardage here, what that comes out to. And, yes, so it looks like the penalty is declined, so it will be 3rd and 4. Interesting rationale there. Maybe it would have been 2nd and long as opposed to a 3rd and 4. Trask alone in the backfield now.
Trask takes this snap as he drops back, looking, throwing deep to the right side. He's got Tony cut. Touchdown, Gators! What a throw by Kyle Trask, and it's Kadarius Toney wide open on the right side, and the Gators now with a 37-yard touchdown reception.
And what a swing of events there. First, you have the interception by Kyle Trask. Then you have the unsportsmanlike conduct that's waved off for some reason I still don't understand. And then a 37-yard touchdown pass to Kadarius Toney. All I can say is if I'm a Texas A&M fan, I am despondent right now. They had so many chances to get off the field there, so many chances to close the door on that drive, and yet the Gators are now up 27-17.
McPherson out for the extra point as he puts this one up, and it is good. So the Gators will lead it 28-17 with 9:39 left to go in the third quarter as we take a quick break here on the Gators Student Broadcast. Welcome back to the Gators Student Broadcast here over at Kyle Field, where the Gators lead it 28-17 after a 37-yard touchdown from Trask to Kadarius Toney. My name's Jake Ricker, along here with Parker Fluke. Parker, before Texas A&M takes the field once again here, a huge play for the Gators, and they could have been down here, but a good defensive stop, and the Gators are up 28-17.
Yeah, and it's like we said, Jake, whoever gets the first defensive stop might run away with this game. That we still have a lot of ball to play here, but it ended up being defensive end Michael Clemens for the Aggies that kind of made a defensive stop against his own defense. That face mask penalty really defined that drive. waved off the interception that was completely unrelated to the play at hand, completely unrelated to the face mask call, that is. And now instead of maybe the Aggies getting the ball back with a chance to go up 24-21, the Gators score, and it's now 28-17. Just a huge, huge swing of momentum there.
Let's not forget that interception as well that trashed through into triple coverage. O'Neal had the pick, but then a penalty, hands to the face on the defensive line, ended up bringing the ball back and giving the Gators a second chance.
Yeah.
As McPherson here to kick this one off as we start with 9:38 left to go in the third quarter. That one will go into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback for the Aggies as they get ready to come out and try and start to climb back in this one.
And something to note, though, we did not see Kyle Pitts on that drive at all. Kadarius Toney is now the yardage leader for Gators pass catchers. He's got 5 receptions, 55 yards, 2 touchdown receptions. Pitts still with only 3 receptions for 28 yards and a touchdown. I think all 3 of those receptions came on the first or second drive of the game. Should be interesting to keep an eye on if Pitts is sidelined with an injury. We saw him come back in that last offensive play for the Gators before halftime. But other than that, he's been relatively quiet since the first quarter.
We do have a flag on the play here as we just came back.
Looks to be unsportsmanlike conduct called on Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher waving his hands. It could have been a sideline infraction. We're showing the replay here. And, yeah.
Looks like an Aggies player came in late there and then ran in. It almost looks like they're pushing their own players there, trying to hold them back.
Yeah, that's new. Yeah, things definitely getting chippy here at Kyle Field. These are 2 teams that are really looking for the win.
Well, there's what started it right there. Number 24 for the Gators.
Yep.
Clement pushed 32 for the Aggies. White Jr., and that's what started the whole festivities there.
Yeah, lots of chippiness. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe an ejection later in this game because we're only in the 6th minute of the third quarter, and we're already getting a lot of hostility here. This one could get a little ugly.
We should be in for a treat nonetheless as it's first. And now the Aggies taking a time out here. Coach Jimbo Fisher does not look pleased as this is not the start you wanted after the Gators scoring a huge touchdown there.
Yeah, and the play clock was winding down there, and that's just inexcusable. At home, after the kickoff, and not only after the kickoff, but after the penalty on the kickoff, you have all kinds of time to get your team to the line. Play clock winding down, and Jimbo Fisher is forced to take his first timeout of the second half. So both teams now with only 2 timeouts here with 9:38 remaining. Gators up 28-17.
Welcome back to the Gators student broadcast here at Kyle Field. My name is Jake Ricker alongside Parker Fluke. Parker, Gators still lead this one 28-17 with 9:38 left to go in the third quarter. We've had lots of chippiness recently here. Do you think this is going to have a large effect on this game potentially here?
It might. It's normal to have hostilities in a college football team, a college football game. These are young guys. They're passionate. They want to win, especially A&M. They're desperate. They got beat down by an Alabama Crimson Tide last week. They really want to win here, especially a team that was ranked in the AP top 10 poll now has a chance of dropping out of the top 25. This is a team that really needs a win. Florida, on the other hand, this is a team that is in the top 4 for the first time in years, and they're trying to defend their ranking. So just a lot of egos, a lot of competition. It's natural to get chippy in a game like this, but just as long as it doesn't get too much further, because once you start get targeting calls, once you start messing up on the side, that's when you start getting ejections, that's when it gets really messy.
We'll have to see if we get to that point as the Aggies are back on the field here for this 1st and 10, all backed up all the way back at their own 13-yard line. Mon takes that snap. He's going to hand it off to Isaiah Thomas. He makes the run,
That's Isaiah Spiller on the carry there for 13 yards. And Brenton Cox actually had him dead to rights on the inside, just chose to go the wrong way. He bit and went left, and Spiller went right. And so that play ended up going for 15 yards rather than 0.
Spiller back in the backfield here again with Mond in the shotgun here on 1st and 10. With 9:05 left to go in the third quarter, Mond takes that snap, another handoff to Spiller. Spiller with a lot of room to run. He's got the first down and possibly more. Still on his feet, and he's finally brought down at, I believe, the 50-yard line. So a huge run there for Spiller. Once again, Gators cannot stop this kid.
And Spiller just burst through that hole that time. He was full speed the whole way and just ditched the whole defensive front behind him. Great blocking up front by the offensive line. And nice tackling there by the Gators in the secondary, because if he could have had a chance of going all the way if they hadn't wrapped up.
Spiller with 10 rushes for 88 yards, averaging 8.8 yards per carry. And they're going to spot him at the 49, 1st and 10 here for the Aggies as they take the shotgun handoff to Spiller again as he runs out to the outside. Still got room to go past the first down yard marker and is pushed out of bounds just 3 yards past that first down yard line. So Spiller, again, just continuing to run all over this Gators defense right now.
It is too easy for the Aggies. 3 carries, 3 first downs, and why pass it when you can run it 10-plus yards per carry every time? And this is just tough to see for the Gators defense. After a stop last drive, it's really tough for Gator fans to watch this defense get gashed again like this.
You have to expect this one might go to Mond here again, or to Spiller, with Mond in the shotgun and Spiller behind him. And they will hand it off to Spiller. He's still got another huge gap to run. He only gets about 5 on this one, but still a pretty decent pickup for Spiller.
And right now is the perfect time for play action. I'm surprised they didn't call it on that play because, like you said, why not? Why not go to Isaiah Spiller? And that's the perfect time for a little play action bootleg. Find Caleb Chapman. Find I'm blanking. Weidermeyer. Yeah, any of these
guys.
Offensive playmakers, and the defense bites on the run, and you just throw it over their heads. I wouldn't be surprised to see a play action pass.
Looks
here.
like Spiller actually came out there here with Mond as he takes the snap. It's going to be handed off once again, and another huge gain there. Looks like about 8 yards. That was Smith on the carry there. So Spiller did come out, but right back to the run game anyway.
Yeah, Ionias Smith, a great job there. I mean, if you can run it with both of them, why not? Give Spiller some rest on the sideline, bring him back in, he'll get 10 more yards. I mean, this defense has just not been able to stop them. They have not earned any credibility on their run defense in this
Smith
stretch.
will remain out there right behind Mond with 2 receivers out to his left. 6:40 left to go in this third quarter on 1st and 10. Another handoff here to Smith, and he's got another about 6 yards on the run. So with 6:30 left to go, the Aggies continuing to run all over this Gators defense as the Gators lead this one 28-17 in the third quarter.
Aggies now with 338 total yards, 125 rushing yards. They're just getting whatever they want on offense right now. No questions asked by the Gators defense.
Same formation again with Smith in the backfield. He's going to get it again, running to the outside, makes a cut back up for the first down, and goes down at about the 12-yard line. So with 6 minutes here to go in the third quarter, the Aggies continue to run this ball, and they might just run it all the way towards the end zone.
Yeah, Ionias Smith, and that's 6 plays, 6 rushes. They're not even going to bother, because why bother? I mean, it's so predictable right now, and yet the Gators just can't wrap up in the open field.
Once again, same formation with Mond in the shotgun and Smith behind him, 2 receivers out to his left. Mond takes the snap. It's going to be another play action. I think Mond might have kept that one, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of about 1 or 2 yards there. So the Gators defense finally able to stop the run.
Kellen Mond trying to get a little bit too creative there on the read option. I mean, your halfbacks have been able to carry the ball at will for 5+ yards basically each carry, and instead Mond decides to take it on his own and ends up losing 2 yards. Maybe a big momentum shift there for the defense proves that they can actually get a stop. Maybe they can build off of that here, that the Aggies are in the red zone.
2nd and 12 here as Mond takes the snap. It's going to be a play-action play. Mond rolling out to his right, throws it to his left side, and the ball's caught, still on his feet, and he's brought down just 1 yard short. That was number 85, Weidermeyer there for the Aggies.
Yeah, good job tackling at least by the Gators to get him down short of the third down. But Weidermeyer still with a great catch there and a great run in the open field. He starts off blocking, ends up just going for a basic slant to the left side. A little dump-off pass, gets 11 yards, and almost a first down for the Aggies.
Aggies now with a 3rd and 1 here as they take the snap. It's going to be a handoff. It's Spiller back in, and he's in for the score. Touchdown. Spiller as he is in at the end zone, and the Aggies just ran all the way down the field, and they get it in for 6.
Yeah, and that's just disappointing. I mean, for Todd Grantham, that defense looked hapless. They looked awful. I mean, let's face it, that was 8 rushes, 1 pass, and they could only get a negative yard gain for one of those plays, and that was the QB read option. It was 10 plays, 87 yards, 5 minutes, and just pure running it right down your throats, and the Gators defense had nothing to say about it.
Aggies went 87 yards on that drive as the extra point is now up and good. So it's going to be 28-24 here with 4:18 left in the third quarter. We'll be back after this quick commercial break. Welcome back here to the Gators student broadcast here at Kyle Field as the Gators lead the Aggies 28-24. But the Aggies put up a very impressive run, I should say, on that last drive, and they pulled within 4 here.
Yeah, and it was just the rush offense the whole way on that drive. Isaiah Spiller and Ionai Smith just having their way with the Gators defense. That defensive front not able to do anything. The defensive secondary might have been playing better towards the end of that first half. The defensive front, though, has taken an off day, maybe, as they have just done basically nothing. There have been no sacks. There have been virtually no tackles for loss, and that A&M offense is just doing whatever it wants right now.
All the fans here at Kyle Field on their feet, still pretty excited because they know they've got a shot at potentially knocking off the number 4 Gators. But first, it's Kyle Trask, and that Gators offense going to be coming back out on the field here any moment. And if there's any positive thing here for the Gators so far is that this offense has continued to roll even despite a large absence from Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, and that's interesting because we haven't seen Pitts since virtually the first quarter, and that's a big blow for sure. So far, the Gators offense hasn't really lost its stride. They have Kadarius Toney, Grimes, a number of other offensive playmakers, but Pitts was a significant chunk of that offense. Should be interesting to see if he makes an appearance back out there today.
That ball was kicked out of the end zone, so it's going to be another touchback for the Gators as Kyle Trask will have to start from the 25-yard line. They're showing us right now the running back for the Aggies, Isaiah Spiller, who has just been fantastic for the Aggies so far. 13 attempts, 110 yards, and a touchdown today, averaging 8.5 yards per carry. That's something that's going to need to change for the Gators if they want a shot at winning this game. But nonetheless, Kyle Trask out here. Kyle Pitts is back on the field here on the left side of Kyle Trask as he takes the snap, drops back, looking over the middle, pump fakes, and he's going to go down. He's sacked by the Aggies defense. Looks like it was number 5 in there with a couple other players. It was, Bobby Brown, the third, who gets the sack. As he also looks like he might be shaken up here as he just goes down holding his knee.
So maybe a bit of a premature celebration there by Bobby Brown as he gets revved up after the sack and then starts holding his knee. And that's a big loss for the A&M defense if Bobby Brown is significantly injured. One of their better defensive tackles, 6'4" junior out of Arlington, Texas. Bobby Brown making his presence felt, his first sack of the season. And A&M doing a nice job on the defensive front to start this drive.
He is able to get up here and is being helped off by trainers. And, he had a big celebration there. You wonder if he might have hurt himself on the celebration there, which would not be what you want from the Aggies. Also, too, positive news for the Gators. We did, as we mentioned there, Kyle Pitts back on the field there, which is good to see for the Gators.
And Bobby Brown now having to be helped off the field, so this is not looking great for him. And they showed the replay. He did injure himself on that celebration, so that is not the way you want to go out. Just kind of humiliating, if anything. And so the Aggies will be without him for, I would say, at least this drive, if not the first couple of plays.
Trask alone in the backfield here at 2nd and 16 after that sack was a loss of 6. Trask takes the snap. He's going to throw it out that left side, and it's dropped by Toney and then thrown here by the defender. But nevertheless incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd and 16 for the Gators. Very tough third down conversion coming up.
Yeah, 2 plays that didn't gain positive yards, and just like that, the Aggies are on the cusp of their first defensive stop today.
Aggies defense having fun out there, getting the crowd pumped up. There are a lot of fans all on their feet, waving their white towels here at Kyle Field. So Gators have a tall task here on 3rd and 16 with 3:38 left to go in the third quarter as the Gators lead this one 28-24. Kyle Trask giving some orders to his offensive line as he's in the shotgun with a running back to his left-hand side. One receiver out to his left, another two receivers out to his right. And now it looks like we have another timeout as the play clock, I think, got close to 0 on this 3rd and 16.
Trask just completely unaware of the play clock that time, has hit double zeros, and I think Dan Mullen was able to call a timeout before it happened. We'll see, though.
We have not seen an official word from the scoreboard here. And it still remains 3rd and 16, though, with 3:38 left to go in this third quarter. Now, Gators still lead it 28-24. Only up by 4 points at this point, though. Gators defense might need to come out with another big stop. And there goes the timeout. So we officially do have a second timeout used by the Gators. That could come back to hurt them towards the end of this game here with only one timeout now.
Yeah, Trask just completely unaware. Going up to the offensive line to talk to his lineman. It looked like they weren't allowed to get set for a little bit there. The referee was up there keeping them from calling the play. So that might be a play clock failure, if anything. Maybe just a bad break for the Gators.
Either way, it's going to be a 3rd and 16 now as they get ready to come back out for another shot on the field here. So Kyle Trask and his offense will take the field once again. There's Kyle Pitts as well. And in the backfield, it is number 20, Malik Davis, out there with Kyle Trask. So 3rd and 16 here for the Gators with 3:38 left to go in this third quarter. Again, Aggies fans on their feet making some noise as they look to get a big defensive stop. Kyle Trask in the shotgun will take the snap. Drops back. Trask looking left. Throws out to Davis. Davis got room to run all the way up to the 30, but he's well short of that first down. So a big defensive stand for the Aggies.
Yeah, and just a dump-off pass there to Malik Davis. Nothing really else that they could do. And Davis just wasn't able to find enough room in the secondary. And that's defensive end Tyree Johnson that was injured on the play. He's down on his knees. Looks to be really shaken up there.
And as we were noted before, the Aggies just had an injury earlier with Bobby Brown, who's still currently on the sidelines, go down. So not what you want to see if you're an Aggies fan, although this time Tyree Johnson able to get off on his own power as he heads to the sidelines. So Gators will have a 4th and about 4, I believe, here. 4th and 5, excuse me, on here with 3:30 left to go in the third quarter. Pitts is out there on the field currently. I believe the Gators will still punt this ball. And they will. So Gators punter Jacob Flim punts this one away. And
that was not very good at all.
Short punt. Looks like it goes out about the 35.
Wow, that was pretty awful.
So Finn with a not ideal, far from ideal punt there. And now the Aggies will have good field position here as the Gators lead at 28-24 with 3:17 left in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this commercial break. We're back here on the Gators Student Broadcast Network. Jake Ricker here, excuse me, with Parker Fluke as Mond out here in the shotgun and handed off to Spiller once again. He breaks away and makes a spin, but only a gain of 1 for Isaiah Spiller there on first down. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Aggies with 3:11 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, first time in this half that the Gators have been able to stop Isaiah Spiller for basically less than 10 yards. Hold him to only 2 that time, brings up a 2nd and 8.
Gators defense looking to make a stop after the Aggies went out there and made a big stop on both these high-powered offenses. So Mond again in the shotgun. He's got a running back to his right and running back to his left-hand side here. Here's the snap. Going to be another handoff. It's Spiller once again, and he's able to gain just a couple of yards, though. Gators defense actually doing a well job here at holding Spiller to some short gains.
Yeah, Spiller only had 3 yards that time. Good job by Jeremiah Moon getting there early. But, I mean, even when the Gators get there early, Spiller is able to still squeak out a couple of yards, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 5 now on the Texas A&M 39-yard line.
The Aggies have been so good on 3rd down in this game. Let's see if they can continue it here on this 3rd and 5. Mond in the shotgun with Spiller to his left-hand side. 2 receivers out to his right and 2 receivers out to his left. Mond takes the snap. He's going to throw, looking to his right-hand side. Throws, and it's caught by the tight end, number 85, Weidemeyer. Once again, just all day to throw that ball, puts it in a good spot, and then they've got another 1st down here.
And an excellent one-handed catch there by Weidemeyer, and he just loses his cornerback there and was able to come up with an excellent catch on that one.
Aggies continue to be so good on 3rd down, and yeah, there you go, a one-handed catch, a very impressive grab from Weidemeyer. As the Aggies will look here to start just beyond their own 50 as that ball is handed off once again to Spiller, who gains about 3 on the play. So with 1:25 left to go in this 3rd quarter, Gators still looking to make a defensive stand as they lead it by just 4, with a score of 28-24. 2nd and 8 now for the Aggies on their own 48-yard line. There's Brown again. They're showing him currently still on the sidelines now, hopping on the bike, hoping to get back on the field soon. Mond in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He's going to throw this one, and it's caught again by Chapman for a gain of about 5 or 6 on the play.
Yeah, and Marco Wilson was covering pretty tight with the quick slant there by Chapman. He was just able to get the inside corner. Good job, though, by Wilson to get him down before he got the yardage required for the 1st down.
So it will be another 3rd down, 3rd and 2. But again, as we mentioned, the Aggies have been so good on the 3rd down. You think this might be pretty easy for them to pick up. But let's see if the Gators defense can make a stand. Mond in the shotgun with Spiller in the backfield. They're going to give it to Spiller. He's up the middle, and he's able to get that 1st down yardage with no problem. Gets about 5 on the play.
This defense, just helpless. It's really tough to watch an SEC Power 5 defense be this bad. I mean, they've now given up 380-plus yards, and they're going to go, and that's only the end of the 3rd quarter. It's not looking good for the Gators right now.
So the Gators lead it 28-24 here at the end of the 3rd quarter with the Aggies driving currently. We'll be right back on the Gators Student Broadcast. Welcome back here to the Gators Student Broadcast. My name is Jake Ricker, along here with Parker Flug. Parker, we've got a very close one, and if you're, well, not a Gators fan really, because the Gators are still ranked number 4, it's a fun game so far.
Yeah, and the Aggies almost have nearly 100 more total yards than the Gators. They've had a lot more time of possession here in the 2nd half, nearly 6 minutes more in the game as a whole, and that possession number was basically tied at halftime. So they've been dominating possession and really grinding it out on the ground.
A lot of that due to the run game, which has been so good for the Aggies. You know, when they run the ball, they've been able to drive off a lot of that clock. So Gators still lead it, though, 28-24, but the Aggies are driving. We'll see if this Gators defense is going to be able to make a stop or at least hold them to a field goal. They did it once in this game. They're really still the only defense to make a stop, but we'll have to wait and see if they can do it again here as we get ready to start the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and on this drive, the Gators have had chances. I think 2 3rd down opportunities to get off the field. That just never happens. Texas A&M 91% conversion rate on 3rd down, 10 for 11. Gators are just shooting themselves in the foot right now, setting up good opportunities and then wasting them.
Kyle Trask awaits on the sidelines to see if his defense can get him back on the field still with a lead. Isaiah Spiller, man, he's been something special for the Aggies. You know, even on those short runs that we have talked about that are not highlight reel runs, but just still breaking tackles as we get back on the field here. Isaiah Spiller again in the backfield Mon takes that snap. It's going to be a play-action play. Mon rolling out to his right, throwing this one deep downfield, but it's way over his head and incomplete. There is a flag on the play.
And I would be shocked to see a pass interference call here because that ball was way outside of the end zone. That's clearly uncatchable.
We'll see if this one might have been back at the offensive line as we wait to get the call. With 14:53 left to go in the fourth quarter, Gators still leading at 28-24. Refs currently conferring. Looks like it might have been a holding call I'm seeing.
Yeah, defensive holding, and that would, even if that pass is uncatchable, the defensive holding still applies.
As we get the official call here, it will be a holding, and it is going to be a defensive holding. So not a good look here for the Gators, as that was a vastly incomplete or uncatchable throw, but the Aggies will still get some yardage out of it because of the penalty.
Jake, just awful. It's really hard to watch a team that was so well known for their defense last year go to being possibly the worst defense in the FBS.
You want to know C.J. Henderson, how much of an impact he made on this defense now with him being one of the main guys out, and a couple others as well. But, yeah, absolutely right. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Aggies as Mon takes that snap. He's going to keep it and run with it, and still going on his feet. Makes a couple people miss some tackles and gains about 7 yards on the play. So Aggies continuing to drive down this field with the run game.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Kellen Mond run the ball much at all today. He hasn't really done that much so far this season. Someone that usually racks up about 200, 300, 400 yards on the ground. He might be more of a pocket passer this year, and that's definitely what we've seen from him today with 243 passing yards.
Mon with only 5 yards rushing here as he's in the shotgun with Spiller to his right and Smith to his left, and he's going to hand this one off to Spiller. He's going to keep it. Mon still going blocked there from Smith, and he gains about 1 yard on the play. So the Gators will hold him to another 3rd down here, but Aggies who have been so good on 3rd down, you wonder if it's going to be any different this time.
Yeah, and a good defensive play there by the Gators. They had Spiller dead to rights if they had handed it off to him, and then they were able to adjust and hunt down Mon and tackle him for only a gain of 1. So a 3rd and 3, like you said, the Aggies 10 for 11 on 3rd down. That is a daunting number, and the Gators just have not been able to get off the field today. I'd be surprised if they were able to do so right now.
They're going to need to stop here as the Aggies are at their own 20 as Mon takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Spiller. Spiller, though, he can't get to the 1st down yard line, and the Gators hold him here. A huge stop there on 3rd down. We'll see if the Aggies try and go for this. It looks like they might.
Territory. I mean, they're down 4 points, so 3 points doesn't really get them much except make it possibly a one-possession game if the Gators go ahead and score on the next drive.
But they are going up against one of the best offenses, so they might try and go for here. Only 4th and 2. They've been so good at picking up these short yardage plays. 12:55 left to go in the 4th quarter, and they do remain out there.
This is a massive test for this defense now.
So Mond in the shotgun. He's got 2, I believe, tight ends to his right and left, and then Spiller behind him. He'll hand it off to Spiller on the outside, and he cuts up, and he's got the 1st down yardage. He's still on his feet to the 10, to the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. A huge 4th down conversion for the Aggies as Isaiah Spiller goes in for the score, and that's going to give the Aggies the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
Yep, and advantage Texas A&M. There's really nothing more to be said. That was just too easy for the Aggies. No resistance in the defensive front. No one in the secondary to stop them.
12:35 left to go in this game, so still lots of time left on the clock, but you get worried as it just doesn't seem like anybody's going to stop anybody at this point. Gators offense going to need to come back here and get a score. And as the Aggies are out to put this extra point, and it is up, and it is good. Kind of a low kick there, but nonetheless, it is 31-28. Aggies now lead it with 12:35 in the 4th quarter. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back to the Gators Student Broadcast. My name is Jake Ricker alongside my co-host Parker Fluke. The Aggies currently lead this one 31-28 with 12:35 left to go in the 4th quarter. Parker, we said at the beginning whoever made that first defensive stop might win this one, but it might come down to another defensive stop here as the Aggies now take the lead.
Yeah, it's still a close game, still a 3-point game, but the momentum is fully on the side of the Texas A&M Aggies, and they got the home field advantage too, with quite a ruckus crowd they have there, and they're outscoring. They have almost over 100 more yards than the Gators. The offense has not been there in the second half so far, so we'll have to see what the Gators can do here on this possession. This is a real game definer right here. Let's see if Kyle Trask can step up.
That ball will once again go out of the end zone for a touchback. So Kyle Trask coming back out on the field. He'll start from the 25. They're showing the replay of that 4th and 2. I mean, this is, 4th and 2. You give it the 4th down, which stinks, but they ended up giving a touchdown, and it was a missed tackle there by number 51 for the Gators. And you just can't be doing that. Those missed tackles on these big 4th down plays.
Yeah, and Isaiah Spiller is having his way with this defense.
And here's the throw by Trask, and that's caught. It's Kyle Pitts finally getting back in some action here. And it looks like he's messing with it. It might have been might be something bothering him on his left leg there.
He's got a little gauze wrap there on his right. I think it was his right leg. I'm not sure though. But yeah, not a good sign. But it's good that he's back in the game and catching balls. 2nd
and 1 for the Gators. Trask in the shotgun with 3 receivers out to his left-hand side. Trask, he's going to throw to his right. That ball is caught. Still going. He's got room to run all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's number 6.
That's Naquan Wright, the 5'9" tailback. And what a bruiser he is. He's really quick. Like we mentioned, he was responsible for that 3rd touchdown the Gators scored. He was in on the whole 3rd drive for the Gators, and he's just been excellent in this game. I mean, who would have thought the 3rd-string running back really making his presence felt against the Aggies tonight?
Simple out route there to the outside. He got the catch and turned on the Jets for a huge gain for him there. So 1st and 10 for the Gators, and it's going to be a play action here for Trask as he's in the pocket. He's going to throw, and that ball's tipped now, caught by Pitts. He's still going. He's got the 1st down there, and he's run out of bounds. So nearly an incompletion. Pitts still able to reel that pass in, even injured. He's still such a good tight end.
Yeah, and that pass was a little bit strong and a little bit high from Trask. But Pitts, like you said, was able to tip it to himself. Gets his right hand way up there, able to tip it in the air, catch it, and outrun 3 defenders for the 1st down. Excellent job there by Pitts.
There was an Aggies defender coming in hot on Trask, which is probably why he got that ball out so quick. So 1st and 10 here for the Gators with, I believe, Davis in the backfield. Play action here for the Gators. It's Trask rolling out to his right-hand side, way back, and he's going to throw before he's running out of bounds, and that is incomplete, intended for Kyle Pitts there, but good coverage by the Aggies.
And on a play like that, Trask needs to just learn to throw that one away. That ball did end up going out of bounds, but I think he was looking for Pitts on the right side. He just needs to learn to throw it away, especially after that interception scare earlier on in the game. It's 2nd and 10. It won't kill anyone. You're still a great offense. So just calm down. You don't have it. It's just one incompletion.
So with 10:43 left to go in this 4th quarter, it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Gators as they hand this one off to Wright again, bouncing out to that right side, up the middle now for a gain of about 5. So Wright continues to be a presence on that Gators rushing team. And now it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Gators.
Yeah, great job there by Wright. I'm not sure if that's how they designed it, but he got a little bit of a misdirection there. Went left, cut right, and was able to eke out 5 yards on that carry.
Aggies fans on their feet here at Kyle Field for this 3rd and 5. This is going to be a big 3rd down here for the Gators. There's Pitts lining up on that left-hand side. The snap play action. Trask throwing to that side. It's Pitts. He falls down. Still makes the grab. Is it? No, they're calling it incomplete. It looked like Pitts had it, but it's going to be 4th and 5 now for the Gators. Let's see if they take a look at this.
Pitts is saying he did have it, and it looked like he was pushed to the ground there. I'm surprised that's not pass interference. We'll wait to see on the replay here. Yeah, and he was definitely interfered with. And I believe he had the ball there.
It looks like that is an amazing catch by Kyle Pitts.
That ball did not hit the ground.
Let's see as they show us a little bit of a closer look here.
Yep, that's a complete pass. He keeps it on his shoulder pad.
Inches off the ground. Kyle Pitts able to keep it And
are they not going to review that?
Doesn't look like there's no review here. So McPherson is out for the field goal. A 42-yard field goal. This kick is up, and looks like we have a timeout here. As that also hits the uprights. Now there's a flag on the play. So McPherson misses that field goal, but a flag comes in, and the Gators, for some reason, no challenge or no review on that. I'm shocked.
Yeah, that looked like a complete pass all the way to me.
It's a delay of game penalty on the Gators here as well. And
shocking turn of events there.
Very bad couple of plays here for the Gators. Just lots of frustration here. But the Gators did have that first down, so it's going to be even a longer field goal now for McPherson on that delay of game, although he did miss that first one, so he will get a second opportunity here.
This one's going to be 48 yards. Really stretching McPherson out.
And another flag again here. And it looks like it's going to be on the Gators once again. A disastrous couple of plays here.
And this is inexcusable. This is where games are lost right now.
A number 4 ranked team should not be having these issues. And nonetheless, the Gators are, as we wait to get the official call here. And it's going to be a false start on the Gators. So that'll back them up even more. This is now over a 50-yard field goal attempt if they still want to try and kick it here.
And I'm surprised there hasn't been a review for that catch still. That's just atrocious.
I think, unfortunately, it might be too far gone now after a couple of plays there. I don't know if they can still review it. But, yeah, I'm right there with you. I even said when they first threw the ball, I thought that was a catch there. And then the ref came in and said incomplete. But a 53-yarder and another timeout here as the refs blow this play dead.
And what is going on here?
And it looks like it's a timeout taken by the Aggies.
And a total mismanagement of the game.
So we'll take a quick commercial break as the Gators are trying to kick a 53-yard field goal. The Aggies lead it 31-28 with 9:59 left to go in the fourth quarter. Welcome back here on the Gators Student Broadcast. My name's Jake Ricker alongside my co-host, English Jake. As we get back here, as the Gators the Gators trail 28-31 against the Aggies. Crazy turn of events here as there were multiple flags on the play. This was originally a 42-yarder. It's now a 53-yard field goal. There's also the catch by Pitts that was called incomplete and never reviewed. So 4th and 15 for the Gators. McPherson still out there to try and make this field goal kick with 9:59 left to go in the fourth quarter.
This is some advanced trust that Mullen has in his kicker right here, putting him out there for a 53-yard attempt in hostile territory at Kyle Field.
That's exactly right, Parker. As the kick is now up, it's kicked, and it is good. What a kick from McPherson as he nails the 53-yarder to tie this game at 31. So despite a bunch of issues there for the Gators, they do get points on the board, which at the end of the day is huge for the Gators.
Yeah, and wow, that was a gamble. And Mullen like I said, he must have such trust in Evan McPherson, but I'll tell you what, every Gators fan just held their breath for about 5 to 10 seconds there, including myself, because talk about a lot on the line. This is an A&M team that has been scoring at will in the second half, 9:54 remaining in the game, and McPherson puts the team on his back through a number of crazy happenstance things that's just happened and ties it up at 31.
The Gators defense has made one stop so far in this game. They're going to need to do it again if they want a shot at winning this, even if it's just a field goal, because the Gators offense has been very good up until that last drive, even though there was a catch by Kyle Pitts, but it was not reviewed. He ended up going to the field goal, and then the whole disastrous couple of plays here. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back as the Aggies lead this one, or is now tied, 31-31. Welcome back here on the Gators Student Broadcast as we are tied here at Kyle Field. The Gators tied with the Aggies 31-31 with 9:54 left to go in the fourth quarter. My name is Jake Ricker alongside Parker Fluke. Parker, what a game this has been. I mean, coming into this one, we knew it would be somewhat of an offensive showdown with the Gators defense being as bad as it is, but I don't think anybody expected a bar burner like this one.
Yeah, and I mean, from the moment it started, 7-7, 14-14, 21-17, it's just been shot for shot for shot. And that field goal was huge to tie it back up for the Gators because it looked like they were running out of steam and momentum real quick. And now all of a sudden it's a tie game. The Gators are a defensive stop away from having all the momentum right back.
McPherson will kick this one off, and it is once again out of the end zone. So the Aggies and Mond will start this drive at the 25-yard line. Let's see if the Gators can actually make a defensive stand here, or if it's going to be more of the run game from the Aggies as they move down the field.
Yeah, and so far in this second half, it hasn't been so much been Kellen Mond and Ianias Smith, but it's been all Isaiah Spiller. He's put the team on his back here in the second half and really just gassed this defense. If you're Todd Grantham, I would hope that you gave your defense a bit of a rally here in between possessions to just say, hey, we can do this. Let's get them. They're running the ball. We can do this. I don't know, something.
First and 10 for the Aggies. Mond in the shotgun with Spiller to his left. And it's going to be handoff to another for Isaiah Spiller once again as he gets about 6 yards on the carry. And we'll go to second down with 9:44 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, nice job there running in between the tackles. Good movement there by Spiller, able to gain 6 yards.
31-31 is our score. Remember, tonight, coming up at 7:30, the number 7 Miami Hurricanes taking on the number 1 Clemson Tigers. Should be a good one tonight. But first, we got to finish this barn burner as the Aggies looking to try and take the lead here late in the fourth quarter. Mond in the shotgun with Spiller again behind him. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Spiller, who's stuffed at the line. So the Gators finally able to make a stand on Isaiah Spiller as we'll go to now 3rd and 4.
And I don't know if that was him getting stuffed so much as he just kind of got tripped up on his own feet. I mean, Ventrell Miller was there and might have been able to get the tackle regardless, but Spiller just kind of ran out of steam and fell down at the line of scrimmage. Really big mistake there.
Nevertheless, the Gators defense will take it as they now have an opportunity to hold him here as they are at their own 30-yard line. Again, Mond in the shotgun with Spiller to his left-hand side, 2 receivers out to his right, 1 to his left. Mond takes the snap. He drops back. He's going to throw this one. Throwing, and it's caught by Smith, and the ball's out and loose. Gators pick it back up, and they've got it. Gators ball. A fumble recovery by number 3. And it looks like we got some whistles. They might be calling him down now. And they are.
One big thing to know, I saw Brad Stewart laying motionless on the ground there. He has still yet to get up. He looks like he is in some serious pain. Still yet to receive a call from the referees.
They're currently
Should be interesting to see what comes out of this.
That was Henderson on the recovery there on the fumble. As we get the official call now.
And they're going to call it a fumble, Jack.
Gators ball. That is huge for the Gators. Now, we do hope that the injury is not too serious, as that would be a big loss there.
Yeah, Brad Stewart still on the ground here, and I could tell the moment that collision was made with Ianias Smith, Brad Stewart went down. Oh, and he just got smacked by his own man.
Looks like a little bit of almost like a targeting, except on his own guy there. It was number 7, I believe, Smith.
And that ball was loose. Easy fumble call there. So a big defensive stop there by the Gators. That was Jeremiah Moon actually on the tackle that just, and Stewart's head came down wrong. And this is just the worst thing for this Gators defense because this is Brad Stewart's first game back this season. And that just doesn't look good. His helmet came right down. He's up and moving, so that's good. But you don't like to see that because then you start thinking it could be concussion. They're going to take him right to the locker room because any head injury just carries that weight and that seriousness. But we're going to take a quick break here.
As the Gators do tied still at 31, but now after a huge fumble recovery, a huge chance for this offense after we come back with 8:26 left to go in the fourth quarter. Welcome back to the Gators Student Broadcast. I'm Jake Ricker along here with Parker Fluke as Kyle Trask is back out on the field. The Gators looking to try and take a lead after that huge defensive recovery on the fumble. Trask in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Pierce, who's stuffed right at the line, behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss about 2 there for the Gators. Not a good start there.
Yeah, and that one was blown from the start. Damian Pierce, there were 2 or 3 guys in the backfield there for the Aggies. So bringing up a 2nd and 12 here. They're flirting on that line for the field goal range. Should be interesting to see if they don't gain any more yards from here.
Kyle Trask this time alone in the backfield. 3 receivers to his right and 2 bunched up to his left-hand side here. As Kyle Trask takes the snap, he drops back, looking. He's going to throw short. It's caught by Tony. Tony still making some moves past the first down yard. He's still on his feet, and he's eventually brought down at just shy of the 20-yard line.
And great pocket awareness there by Kyle Trask. He was getting rushed real quick, almost had the ball grasped from him in the backfield, excuse me. Yeah, and he barely got that one away before a forced fumble. That was Michael Clemens in the backfield, the A&M's leading sacker.
Stayed extremely calm, though, and made a good throw to Kadarius Toney. Here's Trask again in the shotgun. It's going to be a play-action play here. Trask now throwing. It's caught by Toney, and he dives, and he's just short of the end zone. Kadarius Toney tried to get all the way in, but he was just forced out. But the Gators now just 1 yard away from taking a big lead in this one.
Excellent effort there by Toney. Great pass by Kyle Trask. Gave him just enough room. He got hit. He got stuck, really, and tried to reach out, but he couldn't make it before he got pushed out.
Gators going hurry up here. Trask takes a snap. He's going to QB sneak it. Is he in? Looks like he might just be short, and the officials mark him down at inches away from the end zone. So it's going to be 2nd and 1 here again, or 2nd and goal, on the 1 yard line.
That's the first time I've seen that out of Trask. Real Tom Brady-esque. Just go up and try to almost like will your way into the end zone. Wasn't able to do it that time, but still has 2 plays left to do so.
Trask this time in the shotgun with Pierce to his left and 3 receivers on his left-hand side. Pierce moving in the play action. It's stopped. Throw, touchdown, Gators! It's Damian Pierce with a huge touchdown reception. He was on the left-hand side, moved in motion, and then Trask with a great throw, and he's wide open for the 1 yard touchdown reception. And the Gators have taken a 37-31 lead with 6:14 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and that was just a simple, you said it right, they had him in motion. That was a simple little slip screen almost, and he had a man coming towards him at full speed, was able to slip him off and use that momentum to get into the end zone. Excellent awareness there by Pierce.
McPherson puts this one up, and it is good. So the Gators lead it 38-31 with 6:14 left to go in the 4th quarter. A huge capitalization after that fumble recovery. And we'll be right back after this one.
And I mean, just like that, a 10-run swing. And now the Gators have all the momentum. A&M is the one that has to make the play here. And that's just the beauty of college football. You never know what's going to happen. McPherson looked like it might be 31-28 with the Aggies with the ball. McPherson puts the team on his back, kicks a 53-yard field goal. Gators force a turnover on the defensive side and score and capitalize on that turnover. It's just so beautiful how college football works. The ebbs and flows of momentum and ability and opportunity. And UF made sure they capitalized on that one. Like Jake said, we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Sorry about that, folks. Welcome back here to the Gators student broadcast as the Gators just kicked it off, and Mond is going to head back out on the field as they start at their own 25-yard line. Parker, you mentioned it, momentum on the Gators side here. The defense, despite making a huge play for their team and getting that fumble recovery, going to need to make another one here with 6:14 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see whether Mond will lead this team. I mean, so far in the second half, he's really been more of a facilitator, letting Isaiah Spiller and Ianiah Smith be the playmakers that they are. He might have to make a play or 2 here and there as well.
Spiller again out there for Texas A&M is Mond in the shotgun as he will go for a handoff to Spiller. Spiller running on the outside. Lots of room to run. He got tripped up there as he's a couple yards short of that first down. Looks like they'll mark him for a gain of 7 on the play.
And great job by Mohamed Diabate there. Excellent run by Isaiah Spiller, of course. But those are the unsung plays that really define a game. Mohamed Diabate tripped up Spiller just enough that he would be short of the first down line to gain. Who knows? You might get a 15-yard penalty and end up being a 2nd and 15. That's a huge play by Diabate.
2nd and 3 for the Aggies as Mon takes the snap. He's going to throw this one, and it is caught for the first down. It's number 85, the tight end, Wiedemeyer. And the Aggies get another first down on that 2nd down conversion with 5:29 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Yep, that's Wiedemeyer's 5th reception of the game, 2nd on the team in receptions, only to Caleb Chapman with 7.
Not too many receptions, but key receptions when he has made them. So here we go. Mond in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back, looking to his left-hand side, throw, and that ball is caught for another first down. It's Chapman this time.
And see, I just don't get that there. That's Marco Wilson, Ventrell Miller, and right outside of the receiver, and yet he comes up with that. That's nearly double coverage, and they're still unable to keep the ball out of the receiver's hands.
Just seems like this Gators defense can only make one play per half, it seems, almost. But nonetheless, it's 1st and 10 for the Aggies as they approach on the 49-yard line, their own 49. Mond in the shotgun with Spiller to his right, 2 receivers to his left. Takes the snap. It's going to be a play-action play. Mond rolling out to the right. Throws this one deep downfield. Does he have it? And it's caught for the touchdown. Chapman was run into by a Gators defender, but he holds onto the ball. He's slow to get up here, but the Aggies right back down the field to score, and Chapman goes right back down. He is injured on this play.
Marco Wilson simply just got beat on that play. He tried to tip it up in the air, but he tipped it right into Chapman's hands, and it just hasn't been a good first 3 games for Marco Wilson. He's really been lackluster from the cornerback position. The Gators need more from him.
This is a big touchdown, obviously, for the Aggies as they're now, with pending the extra point, have tied this game. But Chapman goes down. He's been a huge receiver for them. This could be a big loss for them.
Yeah, with that reception, he's at 151 yards on 9 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Better grab him on your waiver wires, fantasy managers, because this guy is snapping right now.
Well, we'll see if he's able to continue after the injury here, as their next leading receiver is Wiedemeyer with 53 yards. But a great catch by Chapman. Looks like he might have just pulled something. It went down funny.
That could have been an interception for Marco Wilson, too. I just can't even begin to express how disappointing that is. For an experienced cornerback like Wilson, you've got to make those plays.
Very
now it's a tie
frustrating
game.
as a Gators fan. If you go down and get that big score off the fumble recovery, and then Aggies come right back down and tie this up. The extra point is up, and it is good. So we have a tie game here as it is now 38-38 with 4:30 left to go in the 4th quarter. And we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Welcome back here to the Gators Student Broadcast. My name is Jake Ricker alongside Parker Fluke. Parker, we still have a barn burner as we now tied at 38 with 4:30 left to go. But good news for the Gators is after that fumble recovery, they have a chance to go back up, and they're not playing from behind this time as the Aggies get ready to kick this one off. And it looks like a little bit high kick. This one might go out. Yep, it'll go back out again. So Gators will start once again from the 25.
It'll be interesting to see clock management on this drive because 4 minutes and 30 seconds is when you start thinking about the potential of overtime. And so I'll be interested to see whether they run more or pass more on this drive. Kyle Trask has proven that he's been able to lead this team with no real issues except for that one potential interception. But they also have had some great plays from their running backs, Naquan Wright, Damian Pierce, Malik Davis a little bit. So it should be interesting to see what Dan Mullen draws up here.
They've actually been pretty split when it comes to rushing and receiving plays. They've had 30 passing plays. As here goes Kyle Trask, throwing out to the right side. It's Damian Pierce wide open, still going. It's number 20, Malik Davis, who was wide open on that right-hand side. Gators might have gone hurry-up offense there, and a huge gain for them to start this one off.
Yeah, great job there by the Gators. And this is where the clock management starts to become key, guys. The Gators are already near midfield with that huge reception by Malik Davis. Do you go for the jugular? Do you go for the touchdown right now? Or do you kind of grind it out a little bit, maybe put more faith in your kicker so that A&M won't get the ball to end the regulation?
They have been split between receiving and rushing plays. But here's Trask in the shotgun with Davis to his left-hand side. It's going to be play-action play. They'll throw Trask over the middle, and it's broken up incomplete That one intended for number 15, Jacob Copeland. I haven't seen much of him today.
And that's just a play that you can't, that's a pass you can't make as Kyle Trask. That was Jalen Jones, a cornerback for A&M, who almost had a diving interception. And you don't have to force it, Trask. And second 10, like we mentioned earlier, throwing the ball away, not every pass has to be a first down. They don't all have to be winners. You have 3 plays to get 10 yards. You don't need just one.
3:49 left to go in the fourth quarter. Again, Trask in the shotgun with Davis to his right-hand side. 2 receivers to the right as well. It's going to be a handoff to Davis. Follows his blocker and is brought down, and the ball is loose. And the Aggies have recovered the ball. A huge turnover. I'm not sure when it came out, but nonetheless, Aggies now with possession of the ball with 3:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's Leal on the recovery. A very unfortunate situation for the Gators, and we're going to go quick to a commercial break. We'll be right back after this. We're back here on the Gators Student Broadcast Network as the Spiller runs that one for a short gain. So coming up here on second down, 3:28 left to go in the fourth quarter. A huge fumble recovery for the Aggies as they now have a chance to potentially go down the field if they manage the clock correctly and win this game.
Yeah, that was inexcusable from Malik Davis. Just a simple punch out, and gosh, it's not looking good for the Gators right now.
Aggies already in Gators territory here as they'll take the snap. Mon pitches it out to, and he's run a couple of helmets popping off there after the run by Spiller. Gets about 7 on the play. Johnson will have to come out for the Gators here after his helmet came off on the play. So it's both Smith and Spiller both out there for the Aggies. Hurry up offense. They're going to do a quick quarterback sneak, and looks like he's easily got the first down yardage. And they're going to go ahead and give it to him with 2:44 left to go in the fourth quarter. So 1st and 10 for the Aggies. Now, as they look to try and drain as much of this clock as they can. We mentioned before those timeouts that could come back to bite the Gators, only with 1 timeout here. There's been a couple of key plays. We'll go back and probably talk about those. You mentioned at the beginning, that's a play we could come back and look at with the non-reviewed catch and the fumble, too, in the end zone as well. But nonetheless, here it is. The Aggies. Mon takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Spiller. Spiller moving up the middle, and he gains about 5 on the play.
This is where only having 1 timeout will come back to haunt you, Dan Mullen.
They used the 1 timeout after some confusion on the defense. Another timeout with more confusion on the I believe it was a 3rd down for the Gators offense.
And something to mention, Seth Small, the Texas A&M kicker, has looked very shaky on the PATs. They've all been really low wobblers. So it'll be interesting to see how confident Jimbo Fisher is in his place kicker if the need arises.
Very good point. Mon takes this one in the shotgun, hands it off to Spiller again. He's tackled in the backfield. A big sack for the Gators defense. And it's going to be about 3rd and 8.
Yeah, great job there by the Gators on defense. Nice tackle for loss there. It was Johnson that came crashing in. And then Zach Carter was able to come in over the top. Nice job there by both of them.
If there was a chance for the Gators defense to make another big play, they made 2 huge stops to see if they can do it again on 3rd and 8 with just about a minute to go in this fourth quarter. Mond in the shotgun with Spiller to his left.
A&M sitting at the 35-yard line right now.
Takes the snap. Mond throwing to his left-hand side. It's caught by Smith. He's wide open. He's got so much room to run, and he's all the way down, way past the first down yardage. And now with under a minute to go, you start to wonder if this could be the end for the number 4 Florida Gators.
It very well could be. It very well could be.
That ball was caught, like 5 yards behind the first down yardage, and he runs all the way down to just past the 20, the 19 it looks to be. So Gators defense, again, continuing to struggle despite the 2 big plays they've made so far. Smith in motion here for the Aggies. It's going to be a handoff to Spiller. Who else? Spiller, he's still going on his feet, and he's down past the first down yardage again. Now within the 10 with 22 seconds to go. And it's 1st and goal for the Aggies. A very disappointing finish here as the clock continues to run down. Gators not using their timeout. Aggies might just take a timeout here to kick the field goal to potentially win this game. And that is exactly what they will do, as they're going to take a timeout with just 2 seconds left as they use their final timeout. The Aggies are now a field goal away from upsetting the number 4 Florida Gators, as we are tied at 38-38. Just a frustrating game if you're the Gators. The offense was there all game, but the defense, despite making 2 plays, was not good at all. They let Isaiah Spiller just run all over him, and just the offense in general. So
there's going to be a lot of fingers pointed at Todd Grantham's job after this one, Jake. I'll tell you that much.
That's absolutely right, and we're going to have to come back, maybe after this one finishes up, and talk about the 2 huge plays that we had. The non-reviewed Pitts catch that ended up leading to a field goal, but the Gators could have gone up and scored on that drive potentially. Not sure why that wasn't reviewed. And then we did have the fumble earlier in the first half of this game that they ended up saying the Aggies runner was down, and the Gators did not get the touchback there. So the Aggies think they've won this. They've got the cooler ready to go, but still have to make the field goal. As you mentioned before, they've all been pretty low. Let's see if he can do it here. So Seth Small out to kick this one. It's a 26-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. He easily nailed it. And the Aggies, 21 Texas A&M, has upset the number 4 Florida Gators. A huge win from Texas A&M, and Kyle Trask walks off in disappointment. 41-38 is your final score.
What an upset.
Kyle Field.
So that will do it for us. A number of opportunities for the Gators that went by the wayside. But at the end of the day, the Texas A&M running offense reigns supreme, and Jimbo Fisher gets a big win in College Station. What do you have to say about that, Jake?
As a Gator fan too, it's just disheartening. Just because this team had its best chance this year to potentially make it to the college football playoffs, but this defense just isn't there whatsoever. But then those 2 big plays too are extremely frustrating. The non-reviewed. I don't know why it wasn't reviewed on that. But you can't blame those plays either. The defense has got to be better.
Yeah. So.
Well, I hate to end it on such a poor note, but if you're an Aggies fan, congratulations, a huge upset for them. That's going to do it for us on the Gators Student Broadcast Network. My name is Jake Ricker, here alongside Parker Fluke. We'll see you guys next week as the Gators look to take on the LSU Tigers.